So you do this every week with her?
Yeah, I sit in. This will be the first time I've really hosted it, but I'm normally here with her every week. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Nancy Dekatch Caregiver Institute show. My name is Ronald Rowland. I'm one of the board members and organizers of the Nancy Dekatch Caregiver Institute. I'll be sitting in this afternoon for Nancy Dekatch. She's somewhat under the weather. The flu has taken its toll on her. Hopefully she'll be back with us again next week. Today we have as our guest Tina Sarah, and she's going to talk to us about essential everyday oils, young living. And welcome, Tina.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, and it's wonderful to be here, and I did have a chance to meet Nancy yesterday. I actually stopped over her house just to stop and help her, because that's what I like to do. I like to help people get over their sicknesses quicker and naturally, without having to take all those over-the-counter things. When I got there, I think she said she was doing a mouthwash, which has all kinds of chemicals in it, and so I had made up a mouthwash for her. Just got a cup of coffee, big coffee mug, because I want to use glass. And it actually, the oils will eat plastic. So we didn't want to use anything that was plastic. Filled it up with some water, added some thieves and some peppermint to that, or eucalyptus. And she was able to gargle with that. And the nice thing about it is she's able to swallow it. So that was also able to help her to bring the oils down and to start eat away some of that fungus and bacteria that's built up inside her, causing her to be sick. And she was fabulous. She's just fabulous.
Good, good. Now, how did you get into doing this?
How did I get into this? It's a good question. And it's probably the most popular question everybody asks me. How do you learn all this? How come you have such a passion for it? Well, at first I didn't. At first I thought, they smelled a little bit different to me. It wasn't something that I really was interested in. But one of the gals came up to me and said, this works really good for headaches. And I thought, I had a son at that time who had really bad excruciating headaches. He would bang his head against the wall. And we went to the RMIs, we went to different doctors, and we tried all kinds of natural things too, and nothing was seeming to get better. They couldn't figure out what was wrong. So she said, well, why don't you try peppermint? That's been known to get rid of headaches. So I went and I got my peppermint. I kept it for 2 or 3 days, and he said it really didn't work. So when she came back to pick it up, she said, you know what, they're having classes down the road. Why don't you go down there and go to some of the classes, and maybe you'll learn something that will help him. And that's exactly what I started to do. And as I went to the classes, I started finding out that they had lots of testimonies. It wasn't just for headaches. They were getting rid of all sickness and diseases. And I kept coming back each week because I wanted to see if there was any kind of hoax. Maybe one of these days there was going to be a catch, and this was just too good to be true. And I wanted to be able to have a straight, head about what was going on before I invested into something that wasn't something that was real. And come to find out, it was real. But lo and behold, my son with the headaches, it did take about 6 months. But what's happening is I got educated about all the chemicals that are in our foods and in our skincare and our shampoo and our toothpaste and our mouthwash, all those things. And that was actually intoxicating him so much that it would give him, he's higher sensitive to that, so it was giving him really bad headaches. And then also with using the oils, and we were able to help cleanse some of his body out to get rid of whatever was upsetting him. And he was able to get rid of those headaches. So that was a huge, because he had them since, he was 4 or 5 years old when he started reading. And at that time, he was 12. So, yeah. So good news already.
Yes. Are there different types of oils for different types of...
Yes, we actually have between 400 and 600 products. He's always the Gary Young, the founder, is always experimenting, bringing new oils on, and so we're growing. But another thing that got me into it was my sister was at that time diagnosed with breast cancer, and she had actually had it before, so it had come back in stage 4 and went to the brain. And I was seeking natural, because they weren't giving her any hope. They were just giving her a time limit. and I wanted to give her hope. And when I found out more and more about this, I thought maybe something could help my sister. Well, as you know, most doctors will tell you that you shouldn't mix the two. And so she didn't want to deny what she was already being told to do by the doctor, and I understand, and I really didn't know enough about it, but it really drove me into it, because one of the things they tell you is if it runs in the family, then you're more susceptible to it, right? So I thought, well, you know what, I have 4 daughters, and I had 3 more sisters, there was 5 girls, it was all together at the time, and so I really put my heart into investigating and trying to find out really what this could do about cancer, how we could get rid of it, what caused the cancer to grow, what causes the body so the immune system is low so the cancer grows. And that was really another thing that intrigued me.
Okay, that's fantastic.
But actually, because that's what we call it, the everyday oils, there's a kit you can start with. There's 9 everyday oils, and pretty much you can replace your whole medicine cabinet. And it was within 3 months that I was into the program that I noticed that I cleaned out my medicine cabinet is completely cleaned out. There's no more Pepto-Bismol or ibuprofen or, antibiotic cream or any of those things, because the oils that are 100% natural can replace any product that you have that is synthetic and over the counter. Isn't that exciting?
Oh, that's very interesting. And how did you make contact and get off, actually get into it? I'm curious.
That is a really good question, because when I first got into this, truthfully, I did not want to do it as a business. I was at home, I had several children, and I homeschool, and it wasn't something that I wanted to do. But as I got into it, I would get so excited because of how it was changing me and changing my family that I started telling others about it. And as soon as there was I think there was 2 people that actually wanted to order something. So what I did was I just told them to go to the people that taught me about it. And then after the 3rd person came around and they wanted to order something, I said, you know what, I should probably put them in my team, and then I could actually start making a check, and then I could purchase more product from my family. It was just it sounds like a no-brainer, but I'm a little slow, I guess. But it's nice. It's actually a referral company. So it's not like you have to have lots of product like Avon or Mary Kay or any of those other distributor companies out there. This is just something, if you like the product and you're sharing it with somebody, you can refer them to the company, have them use your number, and then they can go online and start ordering. And then everything they order for the rest of their life, you actually earn a portion of it, and that's their way of saying thank you to you. So, and that's been helping me to grow and be able to spread the news even faster.
Now, you talked about the various types of oils that you have, and I just jotted down a note. Now, is the peppermint the base for them, or?
You're so smart. Yeah, the peppermint is actually one of our biggest products that we sell the most of. And I'm going to let you try some today. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right, let me just open this bottle up here. What I normally do when somebody tells me they have a headache, or if they have any kind of allergies, or if they're breathing with, they have COPD, or any type of allergy, or nausea. Let's see, there's so many uses. It's like 100 uses just for the peppermint alone. But I just tell you to put 1 drop in your hand there. I'm going to let you put 1 drop there. Doesn't take much. There you go.
No.
And then you're just going to rub your hands together like this. Then you're going to cup your hands like this. And you're going to close your eyes and don't let them touch your face, and just take some big inhales, deep, right and left, in and out. The oils have the ability to go right through the olfactory and go right into the brain-bark barrier and affect the pineal and the pituitary glands, and be able to start to heal and restore the cells, oxygenate the brain. It actually has been known and scientifically dated that it can raise your retention 28%. So they even are using peppermint in schools now during testing, so that the children are doing better on their tests. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah.
I have a brother that has COPD.
Okay.
He may be interested with me. So.
Yeah, I was on my way up north because we had a funeral to go to. It was about a 3-hour drive, and we got maybe 20 minutes up the road. My mom had said that I had asked her about how her breathing was, because she had an inhaler, and she said, "Oh, I forgot to pack it." So I said, Mom, I can either turn around or we can try some of this peppermint. So I just gave her a drop and she was able to breathe it through. And she went the whole day, and even at night, she said, I'm going to take one more drop so that I can breathe through the rest of the night so I don't have to worry about it. She was just so astonished, like the rest of us are, how you can breathe so more clearly without having to be dependent on things. It's very nice to be able to use natural things you know is not going to harm your body too. So yeah, we went for the whole day and night and had no problem with her breathing, so it's very nice to be able to help her that way.
Yes, it is. It kind of like opened me up a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't congested or anything, but, I just feel a little bit more open. That is really nice. Now, are those others different types of
Yes,
scents?
I actually brought a couple different things. One of the things I brought was wintergreen. The basis for all aspirin, baby aspirin, is wintergreen, and that is what really makes everyone feel better. Okay, it also is good for your bones. So you wouldn't need to take a baby aspirin or a bear aspirin or anything. You just take a couple drops and you can put it right underneath your tongue, and that will also help relieve you. But a lot of times I'll use wintergreen and lemongrass. Those two oils alone have worked miracles for many people, especially those that have knee replacements or hip replacements or any kind of shoulder or neck pain. And just the two of those together make a great chemistry, and it just causes their pain to go immediately. I have so much fun going into a room, and I'll have 8 to 10 people sitting there, and they're maybe older, so they all have their aches and pains. And the first thing I do when I come in, I introduce myself. Hi, I'm Tina Sarah, and does anybody have pain? And everybody usually has some form of pain or something that they're struggling with. And so I go around the table the first 10, 15 minutes, and I'll go and I'll get rid of all their pain. And then guess what? I have their attention.
Imagine so.
And I think that is the most astonishing thing is, 90% of the time we can get rid of the pain instantly. If not, there's usually another oil or another nutrient that the body is needing to help to take care of that pain.
That is very good.
And it brings it back to the whole thing that Nancy is trying to do with all the people that are bringing comfort to those that are in that stage in their life, or that they need to have so much help, and they are weak themselves. So being able to get on a good energy drink and be able to have all these in their presence really will help uplift them and give them the strength and the momentum to be able to continue going. So I'm looking forward to working more with her.
Okay, that's fantastic. Now, is there a way that the listening audience would be able to contact you, or if they're interested in pursuing some of these remedies that you have here?
Yes, you can. I would love to do that. You can actually go to my website, which is tinasarah.com, or in there you'll see a picture of our monthly special that we have, and you just double click on that and that'll take you right to my Young Living website that will give you all the information that you need, that will explain how to tell you where the history of this came from, how it came to be, what's exactly in it, why it does what it does, where it was made, how it's done. Because I guess what makes us so unique compared to anything else that's out there is we pride ourselves in the integrity that we do right from the seed until sealing. So we have our own seeds that are non-GMO. We plant the seeds, they harvest the seeds, they distill the seeds, the plant, and then they pack it and package it and seal it up. So we do all the manufacturing of it so that we know where it's coming from. Because how many times you go to the store and you can't ask them, okay, where does this come from? What kind of soil are they using? You don't know what's in that ground. So it's very nice to know that. And Gary, the founder, is very diligent about going forth and getting land that is virgin land. So.
How did he get into it?
That is a great question. That's a great question. Yeah, I thought the same thing at first. He was in his younger years, and he was a lumberjack, and he was up on the mountain, and the tree fell on his head, pushed him 4 feet into the ground that gets snow, and his snow skis came up to his groin and it crushed his spine. So he was paralyzed from the waist down and his side of his body. And they pretty much told him, there was no hope for him. And to see him today working 12 hours a day so rigorously and has, total mobility, then he had experienced some of the feeling in his toes after letting it rest. I'll have to tell you the whole story. I guess I can't really pinch around this. He actually did try to commit suicide 3 different times. And they finally put him on a liquid diet, which was called the Master Cleanse was what they used, which is a mixture of lemon juice, cayenne pepper, and grade B maple syrup. And those 3 together have a chemistry so that you never really feel hungry. And plus it nutrients your body, gives you the sugar you need. It has a perfect chemistry balance. It's been around since like the 1930s. And he was on that for actually 265 days, somewhere around that. And they just never believed he could go so long without eating food. But when he started having feelings back in his toes, so he had, from what I hate to tell secondhand stories, but this is from what I understand. He pulled back the parents came running in, pulled back the sheets, and his toes were not moving, but he knew that he could actually start to feel the nerve endings working in his toes. And what he started to realize was the body is capable of healing itself. So he had actually given his body time enough to be able to not have to be digesting food and going through all those processes, that it was able to start to heal itself. So he got interested in essential oils, and that's the beginning of how he started to repair his body with essential oils. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's wonderful. That's interesting.
So there's hope and there's good news for everyone. Do you have pain?
Do I have pain?
Mm-hmm.
Not really.
Well, that's good.
I mean, I did have some problem with the shoulder. I went to an orthopedic doctor, and he gave me a cortisone shot.
Okay.
And it's really helped out. And I've only had the one, and he said if I have any other problems, rather than do any kind of surgery or anything, he said he would hold off on that, but it's worked out pretty good.
Oh, good, good.
I had an accident at my home where I slipped and fell, and I'm getting up in age. So.
Mm-hmm. And that happens often, yeah.
So I have to, I'm really cognizant of, how I move around and so on. But it was really something. I was trying to go in between a sofa, and I kind of tripped, and I just felt myself falling. It was like in slow motion, and before I knew it, I was on the ground. And I mean, on my living room floor. And I was kind of hesitant to jump up. I'm 66 years old now, so I don't move like I used to.
Aww.
But it was quite an experience. But I recovered from it. I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Yeah, the cortisone is used a lot from people. That, and also, is it Biofreeze? I think is one of the ones that a lot of people use to help to get rid of pain. And both of those are just so filled with
yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So it is nice when you can find something natural, and you don't have to get a prescription for it, and you don't have to go buy it over the counter, and keep Rite Aid and Walgreens in business, right? So, and that is, I think that is my, the most exciting part about being involved with Nancy and doing this with the Rest at Ranch is because Nancy is ordering now from Young Living, that anybody that orders through this show or anything that I do for her, I will recommend that they go underneath her. So then everything that somebody purchases, a percentage of that will go towards her and the ranch and for everything that's going on, and that's for the rest of their life every time they order. Isn't that fabulous?
Now, you were saying that they can make contact with you by going to your website. You want to give that to the listening audience again?
Sure, I can. It's just tinasarah.com, Tina, S as in Sam, E, 2 R's, A.com. And it has a little bit of information in it that we're still working on. The website is not totally done, but it does have a picture of some oils right in the front. And if you double click on that, or if you go to, order now, it will take you to my Young Living website that tells you all the information that you need to know to go through the process of ordering.
Okay. Now, do you have like 2 different companies?
There's videos on there and everything, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nope, just the one.
Oh, okay. I hear you refer to Young Living.
I'm sorry, yeah, Young Living. Dr. Gary Young is the gentleman I was telling you about that started the company.
Oh, okay.
And that's where he got himself with Young Living.
Oh.
I think another interesting story that he did was he actually found 5 of the countries in the world that lived the longest. And he went and visited all 5 of them, and come to find out there's one country that they lived to be 120, 130 at the average age. And the nice thing is they didn't die of sickness and disease. They just, fell asleep, and they'd work until the end, and they were sexually active until the end, and just something that he was totally not something that we hear about here in the States, right? and come to find out that place was in Ningxia, China, which is way up in the western northern part of China. Because I know some people might think, I don't want anything from China. But up there, it's right in front of the Himalayan mountains and right by the Yellow River. So all the soot that comes down through the Himalayan mountains will nutrient the soil. And then, of course, because it's next to the Yellow River, it's going to have all the nutrients also. And what they grow there is what's called the wolfberries. And in these wolfberries, they actually almost look like a goji berry. But we've had taken that plant and we've tried to put it, we have 5 different farms all over the world. And we've taken those plants into those farms and tried to grow them. But the plant does not come up. It comes up more like a goji berry. Where with the Ninja Red, it comes out, when it comes from Ninja China, it has protein in it, it has potassium, it has folic acid, and a lot of rich nutrients that are above the top. And we've actually gone through Brunswick laboratories to test it against all the other juices that are out there on the market that are nutrient. They call them energy drinks. And ours is, even the top one that's out there, they would have to take 6 ounces of theirs to be, 4 to 6 ounces of theirs to be equal to 1 ounce of ours. Because ours is the highest antioxidant in the world that's available today. And it is also has a lot of oils in it that makes it so wonderful, and it tastes really good. Yeah, this is probably another top seller between the peppermint and the Ninja Red.
Is that in the big bottle?
It is. Would you like to try some?
Yeah.
It can come in the bottle like this, and it's good for, usually lasts me about a month, almost a month. And then these got these 2 ounce packets that you can also get it in. These are nice to put in the freezer, and you can use them as freezer pops, or just, it just tastes really good. But I always squeeze it up because I try to mix it up because it is a condensation, it's a concentrated drink. But there you go, and you can just kind of suck out of it.
Okay.
I think what's really interesting is I've had a couple experiences with some cancer patients, and you like it?
Yeah.
I think it tastes really good
Like it has
too.
prunes or something?
It's got cherry juice and blueberry juice, though it has the wolfberries in there that we were talking about. It's just rich in nutrients. It's very, very good. But lost my train of thought. Anyways, I had a gentleman who came to me the other day. He said he bought 2 of the bottles. And it was about 3, 4 o'clock when I talked to him, and I gave him 2 bottles, and I said, now, you're going to take 1 ounce in the morning and then 1 ounce mid-afternoon. I don't usually take it at nighttime because it keeps me up. I'll be up till 1:30, 2:30 in the morning and busy cleaning closets and doing all kinds of things, right? So I've learned to take it during the morning and afternoon, and he's so funny. He went home and he drank a cup full of it. At 1:30 in the morning, I get a text from him. He says, I'm watching the football game and all I want to do is get out and play with them. It was funny. There was a basketball. I don't remember. Yeah, it was nice. It does give you energy, and what's nice is those energy products like, that are in the store that you can get.
Yeah, I've never had one.
Oh my goodness, they are so bad for you. You do not want to be taking those. The chemical balance, the imbalance that it gives you, the body is not ready for that. Where this is all natural, and your body will be able to just assimilate it better.
Now, how much is this? The ounces?
That one's 2 ounces right there.
2 ounces?
Yep.
Okay.
And we suggest to do 2 ounces
Okay.
a day, yep, at least. If you're battling with diabetes or cancer or neuropathy, anything that the body is undernourished, then you're gonna wanna do anywhere between 4 to 6 ounces a day for a while and saturate your body to just jumpstart it and get it back into full health before you can
Yeah, I'm a diabetic.
start weaning off it. Are you? Okay.
I'm a liver transplant patient.
Is that right?
This coming May 1st will be 15 years.
Oh my
that I've had
goodness.
my transplant.
That's fabulous.
And I was only in the hospital 6 days. So, I was up shopping on the 6 days.
Were you
Just
ready to
to get out of the
go?
mall.
Living the life.
Yeah.
Happy to be alive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fabulous. So what happened to your liver? You mind me asking?
Well, it was a combination of things, of alcohol and taking over-the-counter medicines like Tristan. You know, I drink a beer and I take a Tristan because I have problems with my sinuses. You know?
Okay.
And over the years, it just messed my liver up.
That's right.
I haven't had a drink in over going on 17 years.
Oh, that's fabulous. Congratulations. That's great.
It doesn't bother me at all. I wasn't never a heavy drinker, but combination of those over-the-counter medicines and drinking a beer, it just messed with my liver. So. And I
Yeah.
was fortunate, truly blessed, truly blessed.
Yes.
Because the first one I turned down, I was scared.
Oh.
But I must compliment the University of Michigan Hospital because they did a fantastic job. And the one that they had for me, I felt more comfortable and it worked out perfect. I haven't had any problems or anything. So.
Great. That's fabulous. That is fabulous. I do get a lot of people that come to me and they want to do a cleanse because their liver is toxic. They know it is. They've been on so many different medications and they know what that's causing their bowel movements to not function properly, or they start to notice other things that are breaking down. Because we all know that the liver is the big kahuna, right? It's going to feed on all the other organs in the body. And if the liver's not working right, then the other body parts start to break down. And we do want to detour that. And so that is another thing that the Ninja Red is known for, is helping to detox and to help cleanse out the body. And also, you know, we have other things that we can advise you to do for that. But yeah, it is nice to know that the liver can be repaired also.
Yeah.
You don't have to get a liver transplant. But if you had the opportunity, I guess, and you're in that kind of shape, you should.
I was down to 140 pounds.
Wow.
I was
Not functioning.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm truly blessed.
yes, you are. Yes, you are.
First of all, to even have the opportunity to be a recipient, you know, because they're hard to come by. Yeah. And I turned the first one down.
Yeah.
And then within about 2.5, 3 months, we had another donor.
Hmm.
After I felt more comfortable after talking with the doctor, so I went right in. And they did a fantastic job. Haven't had any problem. I had it done at the University of Michigan,
Okay.
up in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, they're a blessing up there. And you know, from what I understand, I don't have the documents with me right now, but the University of, the Cleveland Clinic, the University of Michigan, several of the major hospitals around the world are using the essential oils now because they have found the effectiveness in them. Especially distilling the oils alone can help calm the patients, can help the stress even of the coworkers. It's a very stressful job to be working in the hospital, and they have found that has caused the morale to go, you know, way up. And Yeah, you can imagine, well, you smelt the peppermint there. This is the tangerine. I think the tangerine can sometimes taste good, putting it in the Ninja Red. That gives it a different flavor sometimes, but you can also, all that flavored water out there, it is not something you want to take. That is such a joke. You want to stay away from that, and you can add oils too. We have orange and tangerine and spearmint, peppermint. This is if you want to smell the tangerine. Do you like tangerine? Yeah. It's very good. And I think one of the fun things about the tangerine or any of the citrus oils, or any of the oils actually, if you take a styrofoam cup, which I should have brought one today, like a coffee cup, and of course the coffee cup is synthetic, it's not organic, correct? So if I put a couple drops of the oil on that, you can actually watch a hole eat right through the bottom of it within minutes. And if I put the oil on my hand, I mean, it's not going to eat a hole in my hand, and if I put it on my tongue, it's not going to eat a hole through my tongue either. It's because my body's organic and this is organic, my body receives it. But if it's for the things that are in our body that don't belong, the oils will go in there because it's alive, because the enzymes are in there. It'll eat up anything that doesn't belong in there. Isn't that good news?
Yes.
And then we just encourage people to drink lots of water so that can all get flushed out.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, and that is one of the things, when they found King Tut's tomb, they did find a basin of the oil in there, and at the bottom there was some left. And they did a experiment on it to find out that the oil was still alive, the enzymes were still alive in it. So even back from the beginning of time, God's divine plan was for us to be in health. And we know that this was never his divine plan for us to be sick and miserable like we are, and depressed, and panic attacks, and all kinds of problems. So the nice thing is that we can utilize the things that he had planned from the very beginning. And how the enzymes stay alive is we distill them, and that's what Gary Young specialized in. Was he made his own homemade distiller, and that's caused his oils to be so high on the therapeutic value of it, because he heat them up a very, very low degree, so it didn't kill the enzyme, or so it was able to still be alive.
Now, where is the founder? Where is he based at?
In Utah right now. That's where the home base is. Yeah, and that's where we go every year for a convention. So if you ever want to take a week off for vacation, it's beautiful there. It's amazing with the mountains, and yes, and there's a wonderful all day long teaching and classes, and we have a ball. We took a group of girls. We all went out last year, just piled in the car and drove out there and stayed for those days. And you come home with a head full of knowledge. There was a Dr. Chang there, and he discussed our frankincense. We have a frankincense oil that has been proven to heal cancer and to eat the cancer cell and change the DNA in our cells. And that is think about, why did they bring baby Jesus gold, frankincense, and myrrh? It's because they were the most valuable things at that time. And they still are, because their value is just priceless. And I always thought it was a salad thing, was to the frankincense and the myrrh, but those are actually essential oils. And the frankincense, what I think is ironic, is it takes 40 years for a frankincense tree to become mature enough to start producing the sap for us to distill down to make an oil.
That's a long time.
That's why it's so valuable.
It's really interesting.
It is. Especially there's a lot of hurting people out there that do have cancer and do have neuropathy, and they're in a lot of pain. I had a gentleman yesterday that I went over, and he's having a hip replacement. And he had tried all kinds of things to get rid of that pain. And to be able to give him a couple drops of oil and put him on it, and his pain is gone. And yes, maybe, a half hour later, he said the pain had come back, so we put a little bit more oil on it, and it seemed to last a little longer that time. And how the oils work is, if you can imagine our nerves, and they're all inflamed, so they're on fire, they can't heal and repair when they're all inflamed. So if we put the oils on them, it's like nutrients them, and it helps to bring down the inflammation and so that they feel relaxed. And while they're relaxed, they're able to heal and repair. So if you start to get the pain coming back, that's that inflammation starting to come back, you keep feeding it the oils, and it's able to heal and repair completely.
That is really interesting.
I do tell people though that is the longer process, and a lot of us don't want to be putting oils on all day long. So we have supplements that we have oils in them, and so I suggest to people to use the oils on topically, but also be taking some of the supplements inwardly to be able to repair the inside of the body.
Now, how long have you been involved in this?
3 years. It'll be 3 years last month or around there.
Okay.
Yeah. And I guess it's, I don't know. Anyways, it's been a fun trip. One of the things that I've been able to do is travel. That wasn't something that I was able to do before. Within the first year, I was able to go on a trip to Ireland with my husband. We went there for 7 days, and everything they do is top notch when you earn these trips to go. And then last year we went on a Caribbean cruise for 7 days. That was wonderful. We went to 5 different islands. And these are all things you can earn through, they reward you for your efforts and sharing with them. So, yeah. I've gone to Florida several times to see my kids. There's just opportunities that I wasn't able to do before.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So.
I'm glad you realize it.
And it's what's nice is too is anybody could do this. I mean, you don't have to be it's better, and if you are have a medical profession of some sort to be able to do this, but you don't have to. I mean, if I go and I share with you and you try them and you say, oh, I like them, I want to get some, then you start purchasing. It's not that you started it because I'm a doctor and I told you what had to be done. I'm just telling you what works for me, and you tried the oils, you could feel how they worked and how they worked for you, and that's how it gets started. Mm-hmm.
Any other
things that I want to
products,
share?
Yeah.
Okay, I will.
I mean,
That's a good question.
We've got the time.
All right.
Let's go ahead and use it.
All right, I'd like to say a little bit more about the Ninja Red. The reason that I started drinking the Ninja Red was because I used to take a handful of vitamins, and I don't know about you, but they would get caught right here, and they'd be really uncomfortable, and they would haunt me throughout the day, and I didn't know where they come from. I didn't even know to ask where they came from, and I was just doing it because I thought I knew it was good for my body. So when I seen the juice, I thought, oh, I could do an ounce or 2 of that a day. That could simplify my life. I wouldn't have to take those vitamins. I was grateful. But I basically thought that I was healthy and I didn't need them. I knew that I was going through some changes because I was over 40 and I had so many kids and I had so much to do. So I had all these excuses why I was always run down and never had the energy to do anything. And it didn't take long, but it was about 3 weeks into it that I remember, but it just happened just like that. It was like all of a sudden there was clarity in my mind, and I could think 2 weeks down the road. I could actually plan what I was going to do, and I had ideas of who I was going to share this with and who I was going to tell and how I was going to do this and this with my kids. And it used to be that I could only keep track of one day. And even that I would mess up at. If I made an appointment at 10 o'clock in the morning and I had an appointment at 3:30, I'd forget. They'd call me and say, Tina, where are you? And that's very frustrating. Mm-hmm. Also, I would, homeschool, so I would be sitting there teaching them, and while I was teaching them, I would just kind of, close my eyes, and after about 5-10 minutes, I'd wake back up, and then I'd start teaching again. The kids just knew that they thought that was just the way I was. Or I would be driving down the road, and they knew that if I just pulled over to the side of the road, I just had to fall asleep for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then they'd wake me back up, and I'd get back on the road, and I'd keep going. That was just the way it was because I was so busy. Well, it wasn't just the way it was. I was unhealthy. I was lacking nutrients. So the Ninja Red has helped me to do that, and now my vitality is just off the charts. I wake up vibrant, I go to bed vibrant, I feel full of energy throughout the day, and there are some things that, that set me off, or someone might say something, and I know that there's certain oils that I can go to that help me to have clarity of mind so I can think through the process easier and have more clarity of mind. Or there's people that, reality, do you have negative people in your life at all?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of us do. And those negative people, sometimes that energy can kind of bring us down, right? Where the oils actually, we have oils that you can rub right on your ears. And what that does is it puts a frequency around your ears and causing you to not have the effect that it normally does. It just kind of bounces right off. And I'll give you an idea. I can do an experiment on you right now if you don't mind. How about we do that? Okay. I'm going to have you hold your arm out. Yeah.
I really like this.
I'm so glad. We'll have to get you some. All right, hold your arm straight out. There you go. I'm going to hold it up right here. Now I'm going to put some pressure on it, and you're going to resist me and hold it up as far as you can, okay? So I'm going to see how strong you are, okay? All right, here we go. So not real strong, right?
Well, you know what?
Is that your weak arm?
Well, I had fell on.
Okay.
I was helping my companion, and she has MS, and I was trying to lift her up out of a wheelchair, and I kind of bumped this arm out.
Oh, so want to try this arm? All right, hold it up there. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Ooh. We're still not too strong, huh?
Right.
Just a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and put an oil in your hand. Let's see, I can pick any of the oils, but I'm going to put peppermint in there. We're going to try that one. Let's put it in the hand that you're going to hold.
Okay.
All right, and then you're going to hold that arm out again, and I'm going to try to press down again. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Yeah.
We're going to try. Here we go. Let's try it again. Let's see. I'm going to see how strong. See how much stronger you are? I'm really pressing this time, and before it was nothing for me to push down on them. And how that's work is because all the oils have a frequency. And because we have electrical magnetic forces around us all day long, we need a protection. And to know that the oils, you don't even have any of the oil on you, I just put it in the bottle in your hand and was able to do that. Now I have another experiment. Here we go. I'm going to put the phone in your hand, this hand over here. All right, so we're going to put that in your hand, and you can just hold it right down to your side, and then you're going to hold your arm out again. Yep. I'm going to try to press down on it again, okay? You ready? You feel strong? Okay, ready? See, whenever this happens, it happens to everyone. We'll try one more time. When the phone, because it's so strong electronic forces, it just robs us of a lot of our strength. So see, he has no mobility at all. It took me nothing to put his hand down. But let's just see what happens if we put the peppermint in your hand. Let's going to hold it up a little higher. Ready? Let's see if it does anything for you, okay? Let's go. So it's a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. And I think I have another oil here. There's an oil called Valor. I think that might work for you. Don't know why, but I think that one's going to give you a little more strength. So let's ready? And let's try it. Here we go. There you go. There you go. Isn't that crazy? I just love it. And that's because, and even though you were still holding the phone, it still gave you the strength. Because, and I know that someone came to me once and they said, well, I have this electrical magnet on the back of my phone and I got this from the health food store and this helps to protect me from that. I said, well, let's give it a try. So we used her phone instead, and the same thing happened. It had no mobility at all. So, yeah, the oils are amazing. And this actually is a, do you like the smell of that? Yeah, it's a little stronger. Valor is what the Romans used before they went out to battle. It's a blend of oils, and it's known to give strength and courage. It's also known for, we call it the chiropractor in the bottle. We've known people to just hold this over their head, just like, put a couple drops in their head, or just hold the bottle over their head, and they can start to feel their spine realign. When I first seen this, I sat back and I just kind of sat on the floor and crossed my legs, and I thought, okay, yeah, this is okay for other people, but it's really not for me, But then I seen them, and I thought, boy, it was like 10, 15 minutes they were going at it. And they were still looked like they were really enjoying the experience. And I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. So I put a couple drops on my head, and I still sat on the floor in rebellion. And sure enough, I could actually feel like pressure, but it was the frequency of the oils that were actually trying to move my head around and trying to readjust my neck to make it so that it was in alignment. Isn't that incredible?
Sure is. Wow.
Another big change that we made was we changed our toothpaste. Because I didn't realize everything you put in your mouth that absorbs and you put underneath your tongue absorbs immediately into your bloodstream. So that's why it's so important you have a good choice of toothpaste. If you look on your toothpaste, you look at all the chemicals on there, and you can Google any one of them and you'll see how toxic they are to your body. You do not want to have your household toothpaste. You can make your own toothpaste. You can take some baking soda, and you can add a couple of our oils. The thieves and the peppermint or lemon is what I like to use. You just get your toothbrush wet, dip it right in there, and brush your teeth with it, and your mouth just feels so alive. Or else you can get some of Young Living's toothpaste. We have a toothpaste that has no chemicals or anything in it, and it has the oils in it. And you can imagine what the oils do to any kind of bacteria that's growing in your mouth. It helps to eat that right up too. Isn't this fun?
It sure is. I mean, it's revolutionary.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I'm so glad when Nancy asked me, she said, I really don't feel good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk on her show. And I said, I will. I want to do it. I'll talk. As much as I can get this news out to people.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad I was the one that could sit in and talk with you. This is really
It
marvelous.
was a pleasure meeting you today, too. You're the miracle guy.
Why, thank you. I've been truly blessed.
You've been delivered from alcohol, and you've got a new liver, and you're able to help Nancy and do this.
Yeah, I put her corporation together for her.
You're the secret guy, she said. Okay. She said you were amazing.
I've done pretty good. Now,
So tell me, you've been to the Rested Ranch then?
oh yes.
Okay, kid, I haven't been there yet.
Oh, it's a fantastic.
Tell me about it.
Oh, it's a fantastic place. It's in Swartz Creek, and when you drive up to it, it takes a little while before you actually see
Okay.
the facility, but it has a big lake. There are wild animals out there. I mean, they don't bother you or anything, but you're really in the nature. It's pleasant. It's really nice. I've been out there a number of times.
Well, it sounds like you said your partner was, your companion has MS, so you're actually a caregiver yourself then,
Yes,
aren't
I am.
you?
Yeah. Matter of fact, my mother just passed 2 weeks ago, and
Sorry.
I was also helping with my mother. Also, she was 90 years old. She had a good life, though.
Well, of course she had you as a son, right? No, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. And prior to meeting Nancy, I didn't even really consider myself a caregiver. I was just, someone close to me needed help, so you help.
Mm-hmm.
And both my mother and my girlfriend, both of them needed help. So I was, my girlfriend's daughter lives in Tennessee, so I was the only one really here to help her out. So
Okay.
I helped. Then my mother, she had people to come in, but they weren't there all the time. So I would, make sure she got the doctor's appointments and any running around she needed done, stuff like that. So, but if a family person needs it, they need it. So
Mm-hmm.
I was available. So.
That's fabulous. Well, I know the person that introduced me to Nancy her name's Phyllis, and she was always such a miracle to me. She had spent several years taking care of her boyfriend, and then when he passed, then she had a couple years she took care of her mom, and then after that she was taking care of a friend, and after that her brother had died of cancer, and so she was taking care of him, and right now she's down in Texas taking care of a friend who's losing her husband that should be passing away. So she's a definite caregiver, and so when she's the one that told me about this, finding out about it, I'm so encouraged because she was one of the first people that I helped when I first got started doing this, now that I think of it. I went over to her house and she had no feeling in her toes. Her legs were aching. Her knee was the size of 3 grapefruits. And she was in so much pain. And I did what's called the raindrop on her. And these are actually the oils that I use. It's crazy, but I use oregano, thyme, basil, rosemary, or wintergreen, cypress, and I also use the Valor on her. But it actually, we drop the oils down the spine and we do some reflexology with the oils on the bottom of the feet. And we were able to get total mobility and the feelings back in her toes. The swelling went down, sciatic nerve damage was taken care of, and the neuropathy, her pain in her joints, she wasn't having that anymore. It was a great experience for her. I was doing the raindrop on her like twice a week for a couple weeks, and then I went to once a week, and then it was every other week, and then it was once a month till she learned how to do it herself. Then she actually went to Dallas with me to get trained under Gary Young to learn how to be even better at it. So we're always constantly learning so we can help others.
My sister lives right outside of Dallas.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, a little place called DeSoto.
Huh.
Yeah. Matter of fact, she just went back home last Monday.
She was home for Christmas for the holidays there?
Well, you know, my mother had passed and we were all here.
Oh, okay, that's right, yeah.
My little brother, he lives in Bridgeport, but we were all together.
That's nice. I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, you know, my mother...
But was it a celebration?
Yeah, she led a good life. My mother did quite a bit. Have you been in the Flint area long?
I have. I'm born and raised here.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Actually, I was born in Trenton, but I think before I was 2, we were moved here.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, like the University of Michigan has it now, the Water Street Pavilion.
uh-huh.
Well, my mother had a restaurant in there.
She did?
There, she also sold on the Downtown Development Authority.
Oh my goodness, that's fabulous.
She was a board member of the Community Foundation. My mother led.
She was activist, huh?
Very active. She had a entertainment agency. She booked people all over the United States and Canada.
Wow.
Yeah, she led a good life.
You had a good example, huh?
Yeah, she
That's
was a
why
good
you're
role
here.
model. She was a good role model. Yeah.
Hmm.
She impacted a lot of people.
How do you do with grief?
Well, I think I've done pretty well.
Good.
I'm the oldest child. I've had the situation, had to go through this before, when my father passed. I was the one that had to make the arrangements. That's been over 40 years ago when my father passed. But I was younger then. Then I had a brother that was under me. He passed, so I had to do his arrangements. But I take solace in the fact that they led good lives, you know, and for the things that took them away, you know, it was just God's will, I guess. So, you know, I'm at ease and at peace. I was with my mother. All 3 of us were with my mother when she passed.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, she was home, and we had been in talking with her and stuff. We were sitting in the living room. My sister went back in just to check on her, and she had passed away. You know, just that quick. But like I said, she led a good life.
Well, you're fortunate that you're able to take it. Like, a lot of people can't take it that easily. And grief is very tough.
Yeah. I've had my moments. At 90 years old, I mean, you know, be able to make it that long was pretty good.
Well, we do help a lot of people that have grief also. It is a hard time. They are going through a lot. Their emotions are going through a lot because they're exhausted. They're overdrawn because they've used so much of their finances on trying to care for their loved one. And they're just trying to balance all that at the same time. They probably have children too that they're trying to take care of. It just seems to be a lot for people. So it's nice to be able to offer these kind of services to help them to come out of it. And that is another thing we can do. Is called an emotional release. Just like the raindrop that we do where we drop the oils down the spine, we do what's called an emotional release, where we use oils like forgiveness and great grounding and hope and motivation, good blends of oils that help them to repair. Because memories can be stored in our muscles and in our cells, and we don't want the negative ones there.
Right.
So we want the oils to go in and start to regenerate those. And I personally had an experiment. I had done emotional releases on many people before and had great responses, and they were so grateful. They had felt so much better that they had brought their friends to me, and that's very fulfilling. But when I went through something and I just couldn't seem to get past, it was something that happened that I made a decision about, and I wasn't rested about it at all, and I couldn't get a peace about it. And I had fallen on my face before God, and I prayed and I cried out to Him, and I said, God, I just need to know what direction to go in this, because I can't seem to get rid of this, thought of, what I was supposed to do. And then I took, I had a friend call me and said that she would do an emotional release on me. So I went and had that done, and I was astonished how the next day I woke up and I had such clarity of mind. I made a few calls, and it just seemed like everything was gone. And I thought, it couldn't work that well. I mean, even as much as I see it every day, I still get surprised.
That's a good thing. That's great.
Yeah. So I think that with everything that Nancy is trying to do, that this is just a perfect fit. Especially, we have diffusers, which can diffuse the oils into the air, and that can also change people's thought process. So we can put oils in the air like peace and calming, and that helps them to feel peaceful and calming, and calm. I have a funny story. The peace and calming oil was made actually because of children with ADHD or autism, and I actually like to use it on animals. One time I was doing a show, I'll never forget this big horse dog, who was huge, and I had several people in the room. Actually, I was actually one of the first meetings I went to with someone else, a gal named Stacy Kimbrough, who we call the Toxic Queen. She was helping to share all this, and this dog was so big. And the storm started. It was thundering and lightning, and this dog was barking really loud, and he was pacing the floor, and there was just no way we could have any kind of meeting at that time. So we took a drop of the peppermint and put it right on the pad of his foot, and that dog laid down and fell asleep and slept the whole time while we had our meeting. And then I had another a lady that warned me. She said, I have two dogs. Me and my sisters, both dogs are here, and they were these little ones, that were always... She said they're really terrible. They're always, barking on each other, and so hopefully they're not going to give us any trouble during our meeting. And I think that they were so surprised at that more than anything. Was these dogs, after maybe a half hour into the meeting, the dogs were underneath the table, nose to nose, and sleeping. And they slept there the whole time. Everybody had to look under the table. They just couldn't believe their eyes. But, it's because they were peace. They were calm. They were smelling the oils. And it's just a thrill to be able to be a part of this. And thank you for letting me share with you today on all my good news that I have.
It's been eye-opening for me. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
I was wondering how I would do in terms of questions.
You did excellent.
But it's been enjoyable, and it's really been a pleasure talking with you.
Thank
and
you.
meeting you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And again, if you can, go to tinasarah.com and place an order today. Just think 25% of everything that you order today will go to the Rusted Ranch and be able to further the growth that they are trying to help people that are serving and trying to take care of their loved ones, giving them a chance to have rest and peace and tranquility and get their system and energized and back to health so that they can go back out and serve their families. Thanks again.
And we'd really like to thank you, for being a guest today.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's been definitely a pleasure.
My
for me.
pleasure.
We'd also like to remind the listening audience and the viewing audience of the upcoming event that the Nancy Dekatch Caregiver will be sponsoring in May. I believe it's May 13th. I'm not sure of the date, but hopefully Nancy will be back next week and she can give you further details on it. But once again, we'd like to thank you for viewing our program, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank
And
you.